it's Natalie. This is part 3 of the sugar addiction series. Make sure you have watched part 1 and part 2 so this all makes sense. Now, I'm a huge fan, huge advocate of eating pretty much any food in moderation versus following a deprivation diet or, never being able to eat that food ever again, because I think that leads to binge eating. But if you seriously find yourself struggling with sugar intake and that you just can't ever say no to sugar, then it's time to do something more drastic. Now, regardless of what plan you choose below, you do want to address any possible low dopamine levels. And you can easily do that. Just go to your doctor. They'll do a quick urine test to check your neurotransmitter levels. In the meantime, though, make sure to include at least one high L-tyrosine food at every meal. And that L-tyrosine is the building block of dopamine, so that can help raise your levels. Now to the plans. Okay, plan number 1 is to cut sugar out cold turkey. Now, this could be all sugar or it could be your trigger food. So maybe your addiction is chocolate or soda. So it could be one food or it could be a whole category of foods. Now, this is the most extreme plan, but it's often necessary if you have a true addiction and you really struggle with moderating your intake at all. Your brain has become so accustomed to this regular chronic sugar intake that until your body gets used to functioning without it, it's going to be very challenging to eat sweets in moderation over the long term. Okay, plan number 2 is to taper down your sugar intake slowly. Now, this will help minimize any of those withdrawal symptoms that you will experience when you cut back your sugar intake. So instead of drinking 2 sodas a day, cut back to 1 soda a day, and then a few weeks later, maybe just have 1 soda a week. If you have right now a large bowl of ice cream every night, switch to a small bowl of ice cream every night, and then a few weeks later switch to just eating a small bowl every few days. But if you find yourself that because you're allowing yourself to eat still those sweets often, and you are binging or you're still having trouble controlling the amount you're eating, then you need to do plan number 1. Now, plan number 3. So this is when you create a food rule for yourself. So this could be something like, okay, I can eat 200 calories of sweets on Wednesdays and Fridays. Or I will go out for frozen yogurt once a week. Or I will only eat 1 piece of small chocolate every night after dinner. Now, these food rules can be very helpful in kind of creating boundaries for yourself and which can encourage moderate intake. But if you find yourself still binging, still having trouble controlling how much quantity you're eating at a sitting, then you need to go back to plan number 1. Over time, more and more of your dopamine receptors will reactivate, they'll become more sensitive, and it will be easier and easier for you to function and to derive pleasure from smaller amounts of sugar versus needing large and large amounts to feel the same pleasurable effect. I'm confident with these 3 videos under your belt, you will finally be able to kick that sugar addiction. Cheers to a happier and healthier 2014. See you next time. Bye-bye.